Antino's well cleared. 3 lengths in front of the Wayne Wilson and kept going. It's all Antino, and Antino wins again. Antino from second. What a wonderful
Welcome
gallop
to this
for
week's
Antino.
edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 255 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. Today we're going to preview our 7 runners for Eagle Farm on Saturday, as well as our Interstate Brigade at Moonee Valley on Friday night and Sandown Hillside on Sunday. But firstly, a big congratulations to you, Tony, training your first Wheatwood winner, and all that pizzazz. Certainly a highlight for the stable and you.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Claire. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it was a terrific day up at Toowoomba last Saturday. It's obviously a meeting that I look forward to going to, being a Toowoomba boy. It was good to see a really good crowd there. Weather didn't disappoint. It was a typical Toowoomba day. It was a bit windy and a bit fresh, but it was so good to win the Wheatwood. It's obviously something I've dreamed of since I was a very young boy going to the race at Clifford Park. So it was good to fulfil that. Now I guess the job is trying to win it again, but
True.
Overall the stable had a really good day up there at Clifford Park on Saturday.
Yeah, speaking of that, we did have a winner earlier in the day with Cronenberg winning over the mile, and he just keeps progressing, this horse.
Yeah, he's going terrific. I really liked him the start before at Dooma, and he was just a touch short for him, the 13.50, and geez, you could give him a good ride. Jimmy Ormond on Saturday just got him into the right position, and he was really strong. He's been a funny horse, Cronenberg, but he's really in a good groove now, winning 4 of his last 5. So well done to the team that are involved in him. He's been really good since he's come here.
Okay, let's start our preview with the big Moya Stakes meeting at Moonee Valley on Friday night. The rail will be in the true position. The track is currently a good 4 with fine weather forecast. We will have Zoustyle who will run in the Moya over the 1,000 metres. It's a Group 1 race. He'll carry 58.5 kilos. Damien Oliver will ride him. He's drawn barrier 3. With PlayUp at the moment, he is paying $18 to win and $3.50 for the place. He was 3rd in this race last year. He is 2nd up tomorrow after a solid 4th in the Group 2 McEwen Stakes at the same track and trip 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a good strong form race this last year that he was in. He's definitely improved 2nd up. He's a little bit older, so you'd imagine he would improve into his 2nd up run. Small Moya Stakes field as normal, but plenty of quality.
Yeah.
Obviously with the track record holder who ran super in Imperatics when she beat Zoustyle and all else last start at Moonee Valley. So she's obviously a very good mare around the valley. So it's a good race. There's good speed in it as usual. We're drawn well. We're drawn to take effective our racing position, which is on pace.
Yep.
And Ollie can put him where he likes in the first 3 as long as he's comfortable. I think realistically, I'm happy with a top 4 position in the race. I think it's a strong race, and we know he's not getting any younger. But this race sets him up beautifully for his next 2 targets, where we just come down and touch and grade.
We'll move on to race 8 at Moonee Valley, which is the Group 3 Scarborough Stakes for 3-year-old fillies over 1,200 metres. Skirt the Law will run 56 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides barrier 6. With PlayUp, she is paying $4 to win and $1.75 for the place. She's 3rd up for a Southern campaign after a 2nd in the Group 3 Quisette, and then last start 3rd in the listed Cat D'Antibes Stakes down the straight at Flemington. Out to 1,200 metres here, but the first time at the Valley, but she does have a handy middle barrier.
Yeah, she does. She's drawn beautifully. We've been pretty lucky with barriers with her. We drew low at Caulfield. All that was probably not in our favour due to the inside being rubbish. But she drew beautifully at Flemington. She got to the right part of the track. I just don't think we saw the best of her there. Just going to the gate, she was quite fresh. Whether she just got away a touch on us for that month between runs, I thought she was a touch plain there. What we've seen since that run into Moonee Valley tomorrow night's been a big improvement. She's right back in the groove now. The recovery was brilliant from her work on Tuesday, and she seems to be in a really good spot to bounce back to her best. So her best is obviously that narrow defeat by Charmstone at Caulfield. That's certainly the right sort of form for this race. Like you said about that mid-draw, she's going to lob into a great spot. She's got good natural gate speed. What I want to see is utilise that and just find the back of that speed. So there's no reason she wouldn't find that second pair, 3rd pair at worst, and get to the right part of the track to run on. I think the step to 1,200, the surface at Moonee Valley, a little bit kinder underfoot than what you see at Flemington when he gets back to a good 3 as it did the other day. I think they're all huge pluses for her. So I certainly can see her bouncing back to her best form and being very hard to beat Friday night.
Okay, well, we are down in Melbourne. We're going to jump ahead to Sunday's feature meeting at Sandown Hillside. The rail will be in the 6 metre position. The track is currently a good 4, which it should stay there with the good forecast. We have Antino, who will run in the Group 3 Sandown Stakes, which is race 6 over the 1,500 metres. He'll carry 58 kilos. Blake Shim will ride barrier 5. With PlayUp, he is paying $1.80 to win and $1.10 for the place. He's a second up after his fast finishing at 4th in the listed Sofitel at Flemington over the 1400 metres first up. He'll appreciate the rise and trip and a nice middle barrier for Blakeston to ride in front.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice small field. I'm surprised the races fell away to only 8 acceptors. There's quite a lot of noms in it. It's a logical lead in for horses like him into the Toorak in a few weeks' time. So his preparation's gone really well. He's done super since his last run at Flemington. He worked on Saturday and he worked again this morning down there. He's in good order. The horse, he's come on. His code, his muscle tone, everything's improved. So we're really pleased with him going into it. He's drawn kinder. He drew kind at Flemington, but he obviously got caught into an awkward position off that really low draw where he's drawn a nice mid draw here. We know that he can just develop the starter touch. That's just him. And then Blake can put him into any position he likes from there based on tempo, etc. It looks like a couple will go and we should get a lovely run, second pair, third pair at worst. And Sandown's such a lovely big track. I know everyone down in Melbourne loves going there because of the surface and the lovely big straight. So it all sets up quite well for him to do his best. That's what we want to see. We want to see his best out of him because then it's a nice 13-day turnaround, hopefully into the Toorak, everything going well on Sunday. But he looks beautifully placed and I'm sure he'll get the right run in transit and therefore be hard to beat.
On to our home meeting at Eagle Farm on Saturday where we will have 7 runners. The rail is in the 4 metre position. The track is currently a good 4 with fine days ahead. How do you think we're going to play on Saturday?
The track's been playing beautiful. We were able to gallop out on this course proper here on Tuesday morning and it was gorgeous. It was just had a lovely bit of juice in it and it just galloped up really well. If anything of late, Toowoomba dried out quite a lot there last week. Obviously we had a very hot day Thursday into Toowoomba and a few windy days. It was quite hard for them to have that track probably where they would have really liked. And Doomben itself's been drying out a little bit as well. So Eagle Farm seems to be holding that little bit of moisture now and it depends on the weather we get between now and Saturday. It doesn't look to be any rain, but it's quite overcast here today. If we might get a shower or so, that'd be great. But I think the track's playing beautiful and exceptionally fair. So this track's really turned around.
We'll start with race 3, which is the 3-year-old benchmark 70 handicap over 1200 metres. Instagood will run in this. She carries 57 kilos with Ben Thompson on board. She's drawn barrier 1. With PlayUp, she's paying $6 to win and $2.05 for the place. 2 wins from 3 starts to start off her career, and the other start was an unlucky third. Last start was a strong win over 1,000 metres at Eagle Farm, now rises to the 1200.
And you keep getting a good pricer. It's just quite amazing. We keep getting the right odds. I don't know what more she can do. I know she got a lovely run up underneath them the other day, but she went when no one else wanted to go, and she was dominant. She takes on, the horse that she beat and beat it easy, Borelli the other day. I know it's obviously a few newcomers, an Action King and Adriel down the bottom that are different to the race. But one thing about the 1200 for us, we were nervous going to 1,000 again with her, thinking it was going to be too short. So this 1200 is absolutely suit her. She's got a low draw. We've lost nothing with Ben Thompson on board. She'll just lob up behind them and get a lovely run, and she'll sprint very quickly. She lets down well on the track. She worked well Tuesday. I'm very happy with her. I just think we're still getting overs for her. She's probably unlucky not to be unbeaten. To be honest, she should be unbeaten. Just got a bit of traffic problems there at her second run. So she's a lovely filly, got a good turn of foot, a great attitude, and she'll present very well again on Saturday.
Race 4 is the benchmark 70 handicap over 1500 metres. Sunset Soire will run in this. She'll carry 56 kilos. Jimmy Orman riding, drawn the outside in a big field. With PlayUp, she is paying $7.50 to win and $2.60 for the place. One with a big run down the middle over this track and trip last start. Yeah,
she was really good last start because he got moving on a Kyle Wilson Tolerator. He got moving on her pretty early. She had sustained quite a long run. The second horse got pretty close. It's come out and won again since. It's won again the second horse after that race. So, look, I think she's going terrific. The barrier I don't love, but her racing pattern is to find her feet early anyway. She's not one that wants to be bustled out the gates. I think Orman will suit her. He's got to ride her a kilo over, which is always annoying. The handicap weight is 55, but look, he's such a good rider. I'm happy to take that extra kilo. We'll be back in the second half of the field somewhere. As long as we can just get that suck into the race, that drag up, she can be really, really strong late. Her work was outstanding here on Tuesday, and she's got the right form around her. She's the right sort of progressive horse to run well. The only negative of her is if they walk up front and they make it a sprint home, which some of these 1500s, 1400s, etc. can be at Eagle Farm. I just want a genuine tempo. If I get a genuine tempo, she's still an outstanding chance, even off that wide draw.
Okay, we'll move on to race 5, which is the No Metro Wins handicap over 1400 metres. Dramatica will run in this 50.5 kilos with CJ Graham's 2 kilo claim. She's drawn barrier 2 with PlayUp. She is paying $11 to win and $3.50 for the place. She will appreciate the rise in distance from her last start, 5th of the 1200 metres, and she does get a massive drop in weight.
Yeah, the low weight and the kind draw is what she wants. I just haven't been able to draw a barrier with her. Nothing has gone right since she won in Rocky. A few other horses come back and everything went right with them and they just kept winning. But she's been the reverse. Every time since she's come back from her Triple A to Rocky where she won, she's just drawn off the track. I've been back to 1200 with her, now back up to 1400, which I think suits her off the low draw and the light weight. So CJ will be able to let her begin. She'll have beautiful hands. She'll settle probably no further back than third pair, just right behind them. You know, getting a lovely run, and she'll sprint really quickly with that light weight. She is over the odds, I've got no doubt.
Move on to race 6 now, which is the Class 3 plate over 1820 metres. We have 2 runners in this. First one we'll talk about is Coconutsu, who's chilling over there, Morris. I'm going to say hi to Morris. He'll carry 57 kilos with Jimmy Orman on board. He's drawn barrier 2. He's currently paying $3.10 to win and $1.50 for the place. He's won 3 of his last 4 starts. His past 2 wins were at this track and distance from the front.
Yeah, his wins have been really good. I mean, busting in every run and riding just in behind them with a bit of cover. It's not the way the races have panned out, and they mightn't pan out that way again this week. I thought his last win was his best. He's starting to learn how to put it all together now. He's starting to learn to control his gallop mid-race, and in doing that he can really give a good kick, and I'm seeing that in his work. Even he's come on again. I feel he's come on in the preparation again. He's just a horse that's full of confidence at the moment. He looks super.
Yep.
He feels really well. So look, he'll race 4 to the speed, wherever that is. He'll be somewhere in the first 4. I don't really care anymore where he races up on speed.
Yep.
And you know he's going to be really strong at the 1800. He's got the runs on the board, and he's just a winner.
Yep.
He's developing himself into a winner. So he's done things wrong. He's done things wrong in his races and still won. And I think he's starting to execute his races better. So he's an outstanding chance here.
Okay. The second runner we have is Tenzing. He'll carry 55.5 kilos. Ben Thompson will ride him. He is jumping from barrier 11 with PlayUp. He is paying $4.60 to win and $1.90 for the place. Placed at his 2 starts, rising from the 1350 to the mile. Last start was still eating up the ground, suggesting the 1820 should suit him.
Look, I'm glad he's not favourite. He starts favourite so much and nothing goes right for this horse. He was 3 wide, no cover the other day. He just couldn't get into the right spot. Ended up going back, giving ground, still being 3 deep. Had to sustain a long run. That run had to end 100 out. That's just how they do. So I think he's an outstanding chance, and he's just due for a change of luck.
Yeah.
So his chances all depend on what happens up front. You know, how much pressure they put on Coconutsu, just how fast they go. So he's got to try and blend into a midfield or a slightly worse than midfield position with a bit of cover.
Yeah.
If he can get in and get a soft run, he's got a really good turn of foot. He's starting to get up to his trip now. This is the first time we've had him past the mile, and he looks as though this is what he wants.
Yeah.
So with his pedigree, everything about him suggests he should be starting to really get into his prep now. So I just want to see him have a good run in transit. That's something he hasn't had much luck of. This preparation. So look, Tenzing can race really well. Can he beat Coconutsu? Look, it'll all depend on just how they run this race. I just think that Morris here, he's developing into a real winner.
Yeah.
And I want to see the other horse do that before I put him on top.
Okay, now before we move on, you're saying he's developed into a winner. So I believe that you do have a bet with one of the owners of Coconutsu that you will have to wear his Shamrock Pants, his bright Shamrock Pants, on the show next week if he wins on Saturday.
I'm pretty sure I won't fit into his pants, but he's a bit smaller than what I need. But he, I don't know if it's a bet. It's more of a stupid statement made by myself when he wore them outlandish pants. So I think it might have been his second win, I think it was, at Eagle Farm. So I'll stand by my word. If he wins on Saturday, I'll get a pair. If he can get me a pair of those pants that actually go over my leg, I will put them on and I'll wear them on this show next week.
And I can promise everyone they are not budgie smugglers, because that would just be horrific.
They will not. I will not be in Shamrock budgie smugglers. But there's a pair of pants there I'll wear if Morris can win on Saturday.
Listening, Morris? Go Morris. Okay, moving on to race 7. It is the benchmark 75 handicap over 1,000 metres. Immoral runs in this. He will carry 60 kilos. Jimmy Orman rides him. He has drawn barrier 7. He's paying $4.80 to win with PlayUp and $1.95 for the place. He is in career best form, winning 3 in a row before a fast finishing third in this grade at Doomben last start.
Yeah, look, he should have finished right there. the other day. He nearly should be unbeaten since he's been back from Rocky.
Yep.
The horse is flying. Really happy with him. He's presenting as good now as he did 6 runs ago.
Yeah.
He looks beautiful, the horse. He's loving his preparation. Good bunch of ladies all involved in him, races in the
Yep.
leopard print, so they'll have a fun day there Saturday. But the race sets up beautifully for him. There's really good speed in it. They'll run along. He'll be able to mind his own business in behind that speed, just relax. And you know he's going to attack the line. He hasn't gone up in grade. He's where he's at.
Yep.
He's very, very competitive in this race.
And an honest little horse.
Oh, he's a beauty. Like,
Yep.
he's got his racing pattern now down pat. He's a lovely mature horse, and he just keeps on turning up. And he'll do the same again on Saturday.
Okay, race 9 is the benchmark 85 handicap, run over 1200 metres. Zarastro will run for us in this, 58.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman on board. He's drawn barrier 3. With PlayUp, he is paying $1.95 to win and $1.24 for the place. Another in top form, winning his last 2 at this track and trip. Last start was a 2-length winner over the subsequent Wheatwood winner, All That Pizzazz.
We've saved the best for last. I think he's my best chance on the card, which you're going to ask me in a minute anyway.
Yep.
So I might as well get it out in the open.
Yep.
He's going super this horse. I just felt I had him nom for the Wheatwood and Toowoomba, and I just didn't know if he was ready for the hustle and bustle of a race like that, and the way that it was actually run. I'm glad I didn't go there with Yellow Brick really pouring the pressure on, because a young horse with him that's probably not mentally ready
Yeah.
for that trip around Toowoomba. It's a really different little racetrack, and it's certainly a different pressure of Wheatwood. I really like him back here at Eagle Farm on the big track. He'll lob somewhere in the first 3 in the run. He doesn't have to lead. He can be wherever he wants on pace, as long as he's in a good rhythm.
Yep.
He's very fit, very well, and he's well placed again. And he's well weighted still to win at 58.5. I know he goes up a lot from what he carried
Yep.
the other day, but he's
big,
just in
big
great
horse,
shape.
yeah.
Yeah, he's in really good shape, this horse, and I can't be more pleased with him. He's been a revelation since he come here, and
Yep.
I expect him to be very hard to beat on Saturday, as does the market.
Okay, we are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop, and as you mentioned, your best Metro winning chance over the weekend is?
Well, I'll toss up between Zarastro and he's my best chance at Eagle Farm.
Okay,
But my best winning chance this weekend's Antino on Sunday.
okay.
But we'll go with Zarastro at the Eagle Farm meeting, but I think Antino is awfully well placed at Sandown Sunday as well.
Okay, your best each way chance?
It's hard to know, like, each way odds. I mean, it depends what you call each way, but if they bet better than $4 skirt the law, I can see her bouncing right back at Moonee Valley
Okay.
on Friday night. If we want to look at each way in Brisbane, I find it hard to go past a Moral. He just never runs a bad race. We've got a really good team in Brisbane again this weekend, but so probably a Moral for the each way in Brisbane.
Yep.
And skirt the law on Friday night.
Okay, your best at the provincials over the next few days. We've got Sunshine Coast on Friday and Sunday, Toowoomba Saturday, and Bow Desert on Monday.
It won't be Bow Desert Monday. He'll need another lap there, Jetpack Verdi, but it's a lovely kick-off point for his prep. I think we'll probably stick with Toowoomba. We've had a great run up there of late.
Yep.
Whatever I run in the Class 1 up there, whether it's Kemi Zabi or Rum Revolution, they'll both be very, very hard to beat.
Your best track worker this week?
Best track worker this week won't be Zarastro. He was quite naughty on the proper Tuesday, but he's bloody fit and well, so I'm not...
He's a quirky bugger.
Yeah, he's very quirky. My best track worker this week, probably Coconutsu. I thought he was terrific. He just went through, he's going through his gears nice. He's had that good little space between runs, and he's right up to the mark. I thought he was pretty good Tuesday morning, but also just very happy with the data I've seen back on Skirt the Law down at Flemington on Tuesday morning. We didn't take her to the Valley, and I'm glad we didn't, because she's in a really good place where she's at. So probably toss up between those two.
Okay. Your performance from the stable for the week, and I bet I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Zazzle.
little Pizzazzle.
Yep.
He's a ripper. Just such a ripper of a horse. You know, his winning record tells you that.
Yeah.
But just for him to go there and look, he beat a better horse. The horse that runs second's obviously a very, very good galloper, and we're certainly well aware of that. But he's just a real giant killer. Got a beautiful run behind him. Got a great ride from Ben Thompson. It was hard to toss up whether it's Pizzazz or Ben Thompson for the one of the week. But yeah, I think the combination was great. They just get each other too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, All That Pizzazz definitely mine for the week, and you know, could be my biggest win for the year. I know we won the Magic Millions earlier in the year, and it's hard to say it's bigger than that, but it meant an awful lot on Saturday.
It's different when it's your home track.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, now courtesy of PlayUp, it is the stable special offer for this week, and this week they have given us $3 for Skirt the Law to finish top 2. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, take it.
Yep, take your $50, put it on.
Okay, now it is time for a Cavs Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. No go for Cavs multi last week. Let's see if he can return to form this weekend.
Welcome to Cavs Corner for this week. This week we're going to venture to Toowoomba on Saturday night and go Kamazabi a win. And then on Sunday we'll venture down south to Sandown and we'll go Antino a win. Good punting, guys.
So he has gone Kemizabi a win at Toowoomba, so he's hoping you run there, into Antino a win at Sandown.
Jeez, he's gone wide. He's gone late night Toowoomba to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he has done, but he's taken off all the pressure of Friday night and Saturday day. So all you punters out there can feel very safe Friday night and Saturday day because the pressure's off.
Exactly right. Good luck in Melbourne over the weekend, Tony. It's an exciting time everywhere as the spring warms up.
Yeah, well, this is like the best weekend of the year. And we're lucky to be a part of it on two of the big meetings.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you love your sport, whether it be AFL, rugby league, or horse racing, what more do you want than this weekend? We start Friday night and we end Sunday night. It's it's a sporting paradise here, and want to wish good luck to our Brisbane teams. Pretty unprecedented, isn't it? Having the Lions in the AFL Grand Final Saturday. So the best of luck to all you guys there, Charlie Cameron in particular, and the Brisbane Broncos on Sunday. Just go beat them Panthers. Looking so forward to that game. So well done, and best of luck to the Brizzy teams.
And best of luck to everyone else over the weekend too.